Hey everybody, it's Matt here. How's it going? I have a little bit of a lesson today. In this video, I'm going to show you a bit of a lesson with myself and another pianist. And this pianist is actually a very advanced musician, a great jazz musician as well, and a teacher. So you might feel like the stuff that we're talking about in this lesson is too advanced for you, depending on where you are in your music education. However, I'd invite you to watch it because you can apply the principles. Even if you're a total beginner, you can apply the principles of what we're talking about here. Now, what we are talking about in this lesson is what I call the sweep motion, which is the integration of the wrist and the upper arm when you're doing anything that's going up the piano or down the piano, anything that's going from one note to another note or has multiple notes in an upward or downward pattern. So that involves abduction and adduction of the wrist, which is a fancy way of saying this, and it involves integrating that movement with the elbow. Now, because it's a one-on-one lesson, we don't get too much into the nuts and bolts of the technique because I can kind of quickly see what he understands and what he doesn't understand. But if you're interested in that, I left a link below this video to my piano technique course, so you can take a look at that below, where I go a lot more into detail, just into like the nuts and bolts of this, all the little minutiae and steps involved. But I think you'll also enjoy this video where we talk about the sweep. So have a look and enjoy. Maybe just like something like that. Good. Can you do that but in C major? Good. So, I mean, everything looks fine in terms of your facility here. One thing I'm kind of looking at is, is there any give here? So like if you're going from here, right? See the point of my wrist? Okay. Now, if you were doing that kind of inversion pattern, that doesn't make sense because then you'd end up here and it would look like this. It's too much. But you do want some freedom of motion here, a little bit. And so one thing I'll do actually, even with very beginning students, is we'll practice like a drop just on one note, and then I'll have them go up to their pinky and release going this way. Right, yeah. Now you're leading a little bit much with your elbow, and I would think of it more with the wrist. That's it, yeah. Yeah, so you'll feel that there's kind of a, right, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And remember last time when we were talking, I think we were talking about the alignment of the different fingers. So what this does is the wrist is kind of acting as this kind of, I guess, nexus where that alignment is following across the entire hand, right? So you're starting here, there's a line going down the thumb, and then, does that make sense?
I think so. From right there, and then it sort of goes into place there.
Exactly. Yeah. Have you ever read through like the Chopin etudes or played any of those? So like the epitome of this, which is for me, I think at least an extremely difficult etude, is the first one. It was to number 1. It starts very low and it has all these arpeggiated figures going all the way up, and it's just like the whole etude is just kind of like an essay in this kind of movement. But because it's an expanded hand position, you really notice it. But yeah, so now you can apply that. Right, you see? So you see how the wrist kind of leads it? And the value of that is that it's putting the arm behind the finger. So as you're going up, you're not just doing that motion, but you're actually using the motion of the upper arm, right, to guide.
Got you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Now, so that's something you want to get a feel for. Now, what you don't want to do, this is important, is like when you're playing, these arpeggios arpeggios, you don't want to, I mean, exaggerate that, right? Because obviously that's not efficient. But there is going to be, if you watch real close, you'll see there's a little sense of it as you're going up, like very. You see that?
Yeah.
Instead of feeling like you're just locked here. Okay. And is that obvious to you? Am I telling you something you don't know?
No, I mean this is helpful to hear it this way.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think I'd necessarily think about that when I'm playing.
Right. You can actually feel very small. Yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah. And what's funny is, I wouldn't try and do it too fast at first, because you did a decent job here. I mean, it was a little screwy, but then when you came down, you were totally locked. It was like locked, and then all new.
It felt that way.
Yeah.
So going down, you're kind of taking it as the drop.
Right. So, and actually, for me, the feeling going down is more of coming into the thumb. Right. So, right, you're starting here. Okay, now just go in that direction. Right, just kind of feel like you don't mind if I grab at your wrist.
Go ahead.
Okay, relax here too. Okay, now you're here, now keep going. You see, it's a feeling going in like that. Perfect, yeah. Yeah. Right, another thing is, that'll help is don't feel like you're kind of grabbing and holding all the keys, like one at a time. Yeah, let your hand expand and collapse as you. There you go. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Do you get that kind of out-in feel? Do you understand what I was saying?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm kind of moving my hand in a way that is very efficient for giving the fingers like the dynamic control.
Exactly, yeah. Right, and so then there's a timing thing that goes on here. So what I notice when you're going down is that a lot of times you kind of mistimed going in. So you went too far in. And see what happens if you go too far in is then you have to go that direction to play the thumb.
Oh, I see, kind of like towards it's like more spread out, that motion.
Exactly. Yeah, let me grab it again. So play the first one. Okay, that's good. And I wouldn't see. I'm walking you in a little slower than you want because you're wanting to go in.
I see.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
So it's a pretty minute motion. Yeah.
Right. It'll be very small. So you want to feel like if I extract away these, if I leave the middle two notes out, it's just kind of like I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Right. Right. Does that make sense?
It does. That feels very intuitive, and I can tell even at the slower tempo that this is like, if I played that at a faster tempo with that right motion, it would sound a lot cleaner than the arpeggios I normally play.
It'll make it more even because your arm is actually a better gauge of weight than your fingers. All right, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you like this stuff and you want to get a little more into the nuts and bolts of it, I left a link below to a lot of free material on some of my online courses. And if you like this video, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon because it's going to notify you when I put up new videos. Also, if you leave a comment, even just to say hi, that means a lot to me and it helps that YouTube algorithm display this video to more people. So it makes a lot of my work here worthwhile. Okay, everybody, I'll see you next time.